Okay guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. We're back on Assetto Corsa on the PS4 version, so it's a console setup, and we're taking the Corvette Cr7 Gt2 car around the Redbull ring for a very quick setup. This is going to be more of a qualifying setup. You can see I'm changing how I'm doing the video slightly. I'm going to change it and mix it up a bit, but for this video I wanted to go from the pits and show you a proper qualifying run. So we're not going to do it like a hot lap, we're going to take it nice and easy on the out lap. This is just a little hint what you can do with this car when you're running the super soft tyres. On your out lap, just take it nice and easy. Do not push the car very hard on its out lap with these super soft tyres. You don't want to take that much life out of them. You want to just drive at a speed that will keep an okay temperature in the tyres. You want to keep your PSI around 26. That's the one thing you want to try and do on console, is try and keep your PSIs on your tyres. When doing setups, anything, is try and get them as close to 26 as possible. Sometimes it's not always possible to get every tyre at that range, but you want to get them around that range. But for this lap, you can see we're just taking it nice and easy on our out lap for when running these super soft tyres in the Corvette. This just gives you a more an idea of a realistic time that you're going to get when racing online, rather than going into a hot lap and spending half an hour trying to get a very nice lap in. That's not always the most beneficial way, I think, of doing these setups. So this is how I'm going to do them as much as possible if I have time. Sometimes I won't have time to do it, but this is how I'm going to try and do it. So starting our lap now. This is going for the 1 lap qualifying attempt. This is how I do a lot of my qualifying in most games anyway. So looking out for the 100, braking just short of that because we have no ABS with this car. Down into third gear, hard on the power, just over the curb slightly there. A lot of grip with this setup when running the super soft tyres. No traction control on and no ABS for this setup. When running the super soft tyres, I'll go through any extra details later on in the video. Braking just before the 100, down into second gear, try and hit that apex at curve, then get on the power as early as you can. Back end sometimes can go slightly loose there, but when running the super soft tyres, you do find you get a lot of traction, so you can really stamp on the power and work our way into turn 3. So again, looking just before the 100 because no ABS obviously, braking a little bit earlier than what you would with a GT3 car, sorry. Braking down in second gear, hard on the power on the exit, getting us early on the power as possible is really key coming out of that corner. Then looking for the 50 on the brake, braking down into third gear, trying to get the car over to the curb. We missed the apex there slightly. We lost about 3 or 4 tenths, but like I say, maybe 2 tenths, sorry. But like I say, this video is about giving you a realistic time, not a perfect lap that took half an hour to do. This is about just going out, doing a qualifying attempt, and showing you what the setup can do. So going into this right hander now, braking just before the 50, down into fourth gear, skimming the curve nice there, really can get on the power early with this setup coming out of that corner, down into third gear, and again just get into fourth gear before you get on the power there. It'll give you much more momentum coming out of that corner and give you more straight line speed over the line. And we go over the line on 1 minute 28.423. So there's a lot of potential in that setup. I think if we were to carry on practicing for a league race, for example, we'd be well into the 1 minute 27s with this setup and this car. It feels really nice here. So we'll run through some of the changes we've done with the setup and how we went about the setup. So brake power, we kept it on 100. I didn't feel the need on PS4 to alter that. I think that could be something to do with the brake curve being changed by Kunos for the console. It's something I might have to do on the PC when I'm driving this car. Aero 1.3, I really like that aero setup for this car. I ran it at Silverstone on the PC. I've ran it on Redbull ring on this track. Just seems to work for me, and I really like that aero balance it gives 1.3. Feels really good in the corners and gives you good speed down straight. So gearing slightly altered, as you can see there. The default is quite high, so we've altered them and gives up second gear obviously to just stop the torque kicking in too early coming out of some of them corners. Power on differential 10 and 60 on coast. You can see the tyres, we've gone slightly low on the rear to give traction coming out of the slower corners to the rear. Cambers have run quite low, you can see there. And toe angle neutral on the front. I did try -10, but it was just a bit too much on the front, and 20 on the rear. So it gives a nice balance to this car. Ride height, we've gone as low as we could. We tried going lower, it was a little bit too low on the curb, so we've slowly raised it up to the point where I think it's as low as it can go without being unsettled over the curbs, and it feels really nice. Springs, we started off very low because we wanted the grip, obviously. We want a lot of traction on this track and speed, and then we slowly raised it to give ourselves the level we need to get the best lap time around the corners. Anti-roll bars 5 and 2 gives again the traction in front. I did want to run the anti-roll bars a little bit higher on the front, but I just found 5 and 2 felt a lot better for this car on this track. I would normally have gone a little bit higher on that front anti-roll bar, but it felt really nice on this car, 5 and 2, so that's how I went. I did a lot more testing. I found them doing a little bit more in-depth testing now since playing iRacing, because you really have to do your setups a little bit different on that, and it's kind of how I've gone about doing this setup as well. So you can see your bumps on your front, I've gone very high because this car has no ABS, so you want the braking to be as good as possible at the front. Slightly low on the rear to give a bit more traction to the rear when coming out the corners, just a bit softer. Fast bumps, we've gone for a neutral setting, well, a reasonably neutral setting on the front and rear, not much difference there. Rebound 15 and 10, again going for a lot of front stability in corners, fast change of direction, etc. on the front, and grip on the rear. That's how I've done this setup. Fast rebounds, again very neutral, similar to the fast bump. Packer, I didn't adjust the packer rate, I didn't feel any need to. Travel range slightly adjusted, I've upped that very slightly just to give us a bit more range going over some of the curbs. Really helps out, especially on the last corner. Just gives a bit more of a smoother exit if you go over that curb. It doesn't just chuck you wide or lose you too much speed. Anyway guys, I hope this setup has helped. Let me know in the comments if you've tried this out and how it's handled. I feel it handles really nice, and there's no need to run ABS with this setup. One thing to note is with regards to the tyre pressures, if you're running the soft tyres, if every tyre you go up in hardness, just up 1 psi to the front and rear. So for example, soft tyres, we would have run 20 and 19. Medium tyres 21 and 20 at the rear, and then etc. all the way up to hard. I didn't try the hard and the super hard, we only went up to medium because the medium tyres will last at least, I would think, about 30 to 35, maybe 40 laps, maybe more. So I don't think you're really going to need to run the other tyres unless you're going to be doing some really extreme endurance racing, but most leagues probably only run about 40 laps, 45 laps, something like that at this track. So I think you'll be fine with the medium tyres. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll have another setup coming out soon. I've done another 911 Cup setup at Monza, another setup that I've done a bit different to this. Again, I've gone a bit of a different way of doing that, but it's a bit longer. It's more about consistency with that car, because I think that's really key with that car. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, I'll be back with more videos very soon.